Let me just show you what Richard Marles, the acting Prime Minister, had to say in defence of this today.
We've seen a smear campaign in relation to the superannuation arrangements, arrangements which were announced 2 years ago. So there's nothing new in relation to these. And I would just further add that we're talking about very modest changes which apply to about 0.5% of superannuants.
You've got to laugh, a smear campaign against a tax grab. But the point is, a lot of us have been raising concerns about this for the last 2 years, but it didn't get through Parliament, and now it's finally getting the attention it deserves.
That's correct, Chris, and I also find it amusing that he says a smear campaign standing in front of Medicare sign. But you're absolutely correct, Chris, and I've been wondering during the election and prior, where has the coalition been? This tax was announced in I think it was February 2003. It's a horrible tax. It's designed badly. It breaches all sorts of design principles of simplicity, of transparency. The fact that it can be charged on unrealised gains is just despicable. And it is applicable outside the superannuation system. It lays a template to go after the own home, any assets. It's essentially a wealth tax.
Look, any one of us who's got a home, even if we've still got a hefty mortgage, we are sitting on an unrealised gain. And it means that that's exposed to government tax at some stage if we let this go through. You should not be able to tax money until it actually exists. Just briefly, we're nearly out of time, but Dimitri, another point I thought you made brilliantly in your op-ed piece was that the Treasury now seems totally focused now on finding new ways to get revenue, directed by their Labor masters, no doubt. They're just trying to find new taxes, new ways to suck in more revenue, instead of finding ways to be more efficient and more productive and generate more money.
Yes, I believe that is the case. And I'll provide a quote that Ronald Reagan gave in 1983 in a speech in 1983. That's what, 40 odd years ago. He said, "We don't have $1 trillion debt because we haven't taxed enough. We have $1 trillion debt because we spend too much." And Australia now essentially has $1 trillion debt. You're right. Treasury is obsessed with collecting more and more revenue, and you can see it. They lay the breadcrumbs every year by putting out their tax expenditure statement. Any rate of tax that's below the marginal income tax is considered a tax expenditure. And that's just preposterous. The government should be finding ways to reduce government expenditure, inefficiency, bloat, and spending in areas that they should not be spending. I was listening to your interview with Sarah Henderson, and she was talking about how the federal education minister should be directing state schools. On what basis does the federal education minister have any providence in state education matters? Whilst I agree with the principle, get out of the way.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's so much doubling up in our federation. We'll keep on the case. Thanks for joining us, Dimitri. I appreciate it.